Innovations presents the Midwest #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Hello, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Numbers to join us on the program today, local here in the metro area, 402-558-1110. If you're outside the metro area, we've got a free number for you, so it's our dime, not yours, 888-250-2091. So as we do every week, one lucky caller or person who calls in just contributes to the program in some way. Says hi, tells about an experience, has a question, doesn't matter. You make a contribution to the program, we'll put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. We'll draw that here at the end of the program, and then we'll get that added to your Schrock account so you can use it for anything your heart desires in the service center when you pop on in. 402-558-1110 and 888-250-2091. Now, last week, if you missed the program, last week is one of those shows you definitely want to pop on to SchrockInnovations.com and take a look at the video on the radio show page. It was a packed show. We had so many calls, and it was weird. I screwed up on my planning. See, I planned the shows out ahead. I know what I'm going to talk about before I get here. Surprise, right? Except last week, for some reason, I have 4 segments. I have 4 topics I can do. Well, last week I had 5. Because I forgot to write one down, and I remembered it was the most important one, and I remembered it, and I had to squeeze it in. So I had to shoehorn in the fact that there's a possible Windstream email hack situation going on. Nothing confirmed from Windstream. I want to be very clear about that. There is no confirmation, no release, nothing going on. However, social media is talking about it. We're having customers coming into the service center telling us the same things over and over and over again, that their Windstream email, somebody else has access to their email, and they're using that access to reset the passwords for other services like Facebook or Apple or Netflix or whatever, so that they can take over those accounts and take control of them. And then you try to reset your password, and the automated password reset feature is not functioning right now. Reports from our customers say when the emails, the password reset emails hit your inbox, somebody's deleting them before you can get click the link to reset your email. And so the only way to change your Windstream email password right now is to actually call Windstream, and hold times are up to 2 hours. Those are the anecdotal reports we're getting in the Lincoln Service Center, mostly, some in the Omaha, but mostly the Lincoln Service Center. If you're experiencing an issue, or if you have Windstream.net email, you definitely need to change your password if you have not done so already, because there is the possibility that there was a release of usernames, email addresses, and full unencrypted passwords. And if somebody has access to your email account like that, they can reset everything, and you really don't want that to happen. So that was the big story last week that we had to shoehorn in. We also explained what a VPN is, what it does, and what it does not do. That was a direct response to a customer email that came in during the week asking me a lot of questions about VPNs. It was just better to do a segment on it and make sure that it was preserved for posterity. That way I can reuse it. So we posted that up on Facebook as well. And also we did a little quiz. What exactly does big data, social media, the big data companies, what do they do with your data when you ask them to do things with it, like delete it, for example? Or if you turn off the location tracking on your cell phone, does that actually stop Google from tracking your location? These little questions, true, false. So it was our own little red book survey, if you will. It was pretty fun. So that's also up at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, as well as at the Schrock Innovations website, SchrockInnovations.com /radio show there. 402-558-1110 is the number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. I'm going to get that Facebook page open here real quick so that I can see your comments and questions and things here as well. And let me mute that because we don't need to hear me twice. There we go. Perfect. Sorry about that. I usually have that open before we start the program. Planning. But I was busy making notes because just like last week, there's extra stuff to cram into this week's show. Number one, the Best of Omaha has launched again. So those of you who are just intrinsically motivated to go to the Best of Omaha website and vote for Schrock Innovations, God bless you. That's amazing. We're making life really easy for you. For those of you who are not intrinsically motivated to do this, We're going to give you a laptop. There's a laptop up for grabs, and not just a junk laptop either. This is one of our Intrepid laptops. This is one of the most popular models we sell. It's an $800 laptop that we're going to give away to one person who votes in the Best of Omaha competition. Now, we've made it as easy as possible for you. We put a link on our website at schrockinnovations.com. If you go to schrockinnovations.com, just below the main rotator there at the top, there's a black box that basically tells you, hey, here's what you can do to vote in the contest. And you click there, you do the actions that it asks you to take, and once you've done those things, you will basically you'll get an entry in the contest. Now, there are ways that you can get additional entries in the contest, if you will. As of this moment, there are 74 total entries in the contest. There are 39 days left in the contest. That might go up or down a little bit. They had a voting glitch a few days ago where the voting site was down. And so basically, if you tried to go and you couldn't, please do try again. And you'll be able to pop in there and take care of that. But the nice thing about this is that if you go in there and you do the vote, you get entries in the contest. I'm going to post the link to the chat here as well at facebook.com/schrockinnovations. But if you go there, you can vote for us in the contest. That gets you some entries into the laptop contest. But there are additional actions that you can take. And then later on, right at the end of this month, actually, the Best of Lincoln starts. So then when that starts, we'll add that as an additional action you can take. So you can come back and get more entries in the contest. So I know a lot of you have, you want to win that laptop. You want to, you need a new laptop, right? And maybe an $800 laptop's not in the budget. Maybe you have someone going to college or going to school and they could use a new laptop. This is a really easy way to get into a contest to see if you can win it. And it's a local contest, guys. This is just happening right here in the 4 locations of Schrock Innovations: Omaha, Lincoln, Papillion, West Des Moines, Iowa. If you go ahead and vote for us, I know in West Des Moines, this is the Best of Omaha, and you might be thinking, well, this is stupid, right? Best of Omaha. Don't worry, when Best of Des Moines comes, we're going to have the Omaha people voting for us in Des Moines. So don't worry about that. It will come back to you like all good things in life. So do check that out, schrockinnovations.com. You can scroll down just a little bit on the homepage there, the black box. Click there to enter the contest, and it'll take you to the contest page where you can get your entry in and all of your additional actions there as well. Alrighty, so what else do we have on the program for you today? Today, I'm going to bring you the story of a Sophos user who allowed their Sophos subscription to expire and then was hit by something, and what happened after that. It'll amaze you. It amazed me, actually. I didn't realize. I learned something new about Sophos this week. Drive Advisor is out there and doing its thing right now. I want to make sure that if you don't have Drive Advisor, you check out driveadvisor.com and install it. Big update coming for that soon. Also going to bring you the details about Meta's new Threads platform. Maybe you've checked it out. Maybe you haven't. I'm going to tell you what you need to know before you check it out if you're thinking about looking at it. Also, there is a new Duck browser available for Windows. We're going to give you the lowdown on that. And this is crazy, but it's kind of like Christmas in July. But the 25th anniversary holiday special is going to be released November 1st, like we do every year. This year's holiday special has so much. This is the 25th anniversary holiday special, so we want it to be super special. We want it to be really, really special. So we're putting a lot of tech into this computer that is new tech. That is technology that you cannot buy right now at Dell.com. Technology you can't get at a box store right now. And we're putting it into the holiday special desktop and the laptop so that you can take a look at it and say, man, this is like a cutting edge computer. This is amazing stuff. We are looking for testers right now because it's a lot of new tech. We want to give people extra time to test it. We're evaluating different cases right now for the desktop models, specifically trying to get those in stock. So we're looking for 4 testers, 2 laptop, 2 desktop. We're looking for somebody who's more of a high performance user and somebody who's more of a casual user. And so we'll build out the desktops and we'll get them to you. If it's something you might be interested in, you give us a call in the service center and we'll give you all the details on it. But it's not a hard sell or anything, guys. It's a long time until November still. But we want to make sure that we've got our designs locked down because we have to start ordering parts now if we want the quantity discounts in November to get that price down to $15.99 on that special. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. Real quick, we had a Sophos user who allowed their Sophos subscription to expire. They chose not to renew it, and it was a choice. They didn't call us and tell us that. So after a period of time, basically, we have to discontinue your service if you don't pay us the renewal fee, right? So we discontinued the service on the Sophos. But the Sophos application was still running on the customer's computer. Now, that seems weird. It doesn't automatically uninstall itself. We knew that. But it continues to run. But we didn't know that it continued to protect you with the protections that were available on the last day that you had a subscription. Now, with that said, all the AI features are turned off. So it becomes dumb antivirus at that point, just like your Norton or your McAfee or AVG or whatever. Even though it's dumb antivirus, apparently, if you get hit with something, it still reports to Sophos. It doesn't report to us anymore because we've canceled your subscription, but Sophos still sees it. Let me tell you what kind of company Sophos is. This customer who did not have an active subscription that happened to be running Sophos on their computer, hadn't had a subscription active for over 6 months. They got something downloaded somehow to their music folder that was a PowerShell script that was automatically executing virus-like activities every 30 seconds. Now, whatever it was trying to do, it looked to be a pretty rudimentary virus. It wouldn't look like a serious infection, but nevertheless, it's sapping the computer's performance, and it's basically phoning home. It's saying, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to infect, tell me what to do next. So Sophos Central, the Sophos, the company, the multi-million-dollar Sophos company, noticed that this little old lady's computer, literally a little old lady, that's why she canceled her Sophos. Social Security, she couldn't afford to keep the subscription going. We get it, life is life. But this little old lady, computer gets infected, and this multi-million-dollar company who hasn't received a dime from her or us in 6 months to cover her, took the time to have the emergency security threat response team. This is the same team that with Russia was hacking the NSA or something, they would call them, They took the time to stop and call us, schedule a conference call, sit down with us. We couldn't find, you have a computer that has a problem that's been associated with your account. We're looking at the portal and we're like, none of our customers are infected with anything. We can see this in real time. Everybody's fine. No, we got one here. And then we figured out the reason we couldn't see it is because she discontinued her subscription. She wasn't in the portal anymore. And as a result, we were able to track down this individual person's computer and give her a phone call to let her know, hey, I know, you don't have the Sophos on there because of the subscription cost. I totally understand, but you need to know that you're currently infected. They did that for free. That's the kind of company that Sophos is. Would Norton do that for you? Have you ever received any kind of communication aside from a sales email from McAfee? Avast, AVG, ain't going to happen. They took the time to contact us and then help us track down a former customer who had not paid so that we could keep them safe. That's a commitment to security that goes beyond financials, beyond subscriptions. That's a cultural thing. And that's what you get when you subscribe to Sophos. So if you have a Sophos subscription on your computer, I just want you to feel real good about who you're giving your money to. Because, obviously we manage that subscription for you, but Sophos gets paid to provide the actual service, right? So that's where some of your money is going, is to Sophos itself. And these guys are true professionals, salt of the earth people that are out to help you and keep you safe, even if your subscription does lapse a little bit. So I thought that was a good news story. We're always bringing you nasty hack stories about, people stealing things and Windstream getting hacked and all this other stuff. I thought it'd be nice to bring you a positive one of somebody doing something to help keep people secure and safe in this digital world that we all share. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. Going to take our first break of the program, guys. When we come back, you may have heard about Meta's new Threads app, the Twitter clone or competitor, however you want to look at it. We're going to tell you the ins and the outs of what's going on with it and what you need to know before you start your Threads account, coming up next on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website Find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. And now, Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier, so take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We have 4 locations to help you out when you're having issues with your computer, need a little maintenance, need an upgrade, need some data recovered from that hard drive. If it touches a computer, we touch it at Schrock, and we do that in 4 different locations. The original, the OG Schrock Innovations, Lincoln, Nebraska, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. In Omaha, 168th and Burke Street. In Papillion, 84th and Highway 370. And, of course, the newest Schrock Innovations in West Des Moines, Iowa, 9500 University Avenue. Any of those service centers are available to help you out when your computers are having trouble, and we're happy to have you in there anytime that you need us. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program today. Craig is the first caller of the day today. Welcome to the show, Craig. How can I help you on Compute This?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fantastic show, and God bless you and your family, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that.
Hey, look, 62 years old. I'm getting a feeling I'm getting squeezed out at my corporate job, you know?
Oh, gosh.
And, all right, so this is their iPhone, and everything I have, my personal contacts, work contacts, the whole world is on this phone. If they decide to take it over and say, see you, bye, I'm in a black hole. So here's my question. What would you do if you're in my shoes? I don't want to take the contacts off of this phone, but I'd like to download them on something. So, nobody even remembers anybody's numbers anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know?
I don't know my son's phone number.
Exactly. I almost said that. My son is my closest, and my dad. And I wouldn't be able to call them because I don't have it memorized anymore. So I wrote their numbers down naturally.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, now, question for you. Is the iPhone associated with an Apple ID?
Oh, yeah.
Is it the company's Apple ID or your Apple ID?
I think it's mine because I don't think they know my password, would they?
Well, unless you gave it to them or unless they set it up for you originally.
Well, I do know this. This much I do know. If you don't go out on a good note, my number, everybody that knows me by my phone number, they won't be able to call. They'll get another employee, you know, even
Right.
my kid.
Right. So that, you know, one of the things, and we do this with our employees too, Craig. I mean, this is a pretty common corporate tactic. You know, we give them a nice truck, we give them a phone, and we're like, hey, you know, now you work for us, and this is great, and everything's happy and great. But if you ever leave, boy, it's sure going to be rough. You got to buy a new vehicle, and you got to get yourself a new phone, and you know, we don't care if you use the phone for personal stuff because how can we police it anyway? So, you know, whatever, people use it for personal stuff. I have some employees that we give phone to that carry 2 phones. They carry a personal and they carry the work phone. I have other employees who just use the work phone as their personal phone. Similar situation. And, you know, you never want to have from an employer's perspective, you know, the last thing we want to do is have another employee getting calls like 15 times a day looking for Craig. from his son, like Craig's not here anymore. Like, what do you mean he's not there? You don't want to have that happen. But to get back to your root question, to make sure that all of your stuff is backed up, you should set up some kind of a cloud backup, whether that is iCloud. You can use iCloud for contacts, text messages, all the iMessage, everything like that, your iTunes, all of your apps, that'll all get backed up to iCloud. If you want to do a photo backup, then iCloud will do your photos as well. If you can't use iCloud, Amazon Prime Photo has a great photo backup service. And then a Google account will actually also back up all of your contacts and everything from the phone. That way, if you decide to go Android or back to iPhone, you can restore from there. So there's not a whole lot that can be done if you got squeezed out on poor terms. And they didn't let you take the phone number with you, because it's not hard to port a phone number anymore. It's easy, actually. So, if you leave on good terms, they can port. It doesn't even cost them anything. They can port the phone number to a new device. So you buy a new phone, they give you the phone number, because they don't want to get Craig's calls either. Now, if you have clients calling that number, though, then they're going to want to keep that phone number. So, that's the one thing you might do in the interim, if you feel like this is kind of something that you got a little bit of time. You can set up a free Google Voice phone number, and you can have that Google Voice phone number forward calls to your company phone. That way, if you ever leave the company and you get a new device, you can just change where that Google Voice number is forwarded to the new phone, and then people can still get a hold of you that way. That might be an intermediate option you could try. And I haven't looked at Google Voice in a long time. It used to be free up to a point, so I don't think you have to pay a whole lot just to have the phone number forwarded.
Okay. All right. I was wondering too, if there was just a way just to download all these numbers onto an Excel spreadsheet easily on my computer.
Not easily, not with an iPhone, unfortunately. There's software that'll do it, especially if the phone is working and it's set up on your computer already and you have iTunes installed and all this other stuff. But there may be an app that does it. I don't know for sure. I'd have to look into that. I just know in a data recovery situation, when we're recovering from iPhones, we have software that will extract that information from the phone and create, like, here's a list of all the text messages, here's a list of all the contacts, here's a call history. But it's literally like a text file. It's something there. But if you back it up to iCloud, you should be able to restore it. Whenever you get your new device, you just log into that iCloud account, and it'll restore all the phone numbers for you.
Even if I don't have my same phone number, Thor?
Yeah, because it's based on the account. That's based on the iCloud account.
Okay, Thor. Okay, I think that's the route. I'm going to just take the iCloud thing, and then if they, all right, that helps, Thor. Thanks so much, sir.
Hey, no sweat, Craig. Have a great afternoon. Oh, good luck with the job, by the way. 62 years old. Man, you're almost to the finish line. 402-558-1110 is the number to join us on the program. So you've heard about Threads, right? This is Meta's new app, because you can't get to it on the internet. It's kind of like Truth Social. There's no web platform for it. You can't go on a computer and use it. You have to use the app on your phone. But you can go into Threads, and literally it's like a clone. Somebody described it as Twitter 2010. There are some rumors. In fact, Elon has filed a cease and desist with his attorney with Meta, telling them to take it down, because they literally he accuses them of hiring former Twitter engineers with specific knowledge of how Twitter worked, and then leverage that knowledge to build this clone app. So literally, the idea here is we don't like what Elon is doing with Twitter. And so as a result, we're going to build a competitor to Twitter, and we are going to leverage our social media access, that being the largest social media company in the world, Meta. We're going to leverage that to push people into Threads. So if you have an Instagram account, you can open a Threads account. And they're pushing the ads all over Instagram are going into Threads. And if you have a Facebook account, you're hearing about Threads, and you can go into Threads. Here's the trick. Before you open your Threads account, let's say you try it and you don't like it, and then you want to cancel it. You also have to cancel your Instagram account. So you can't just cancel Threads. You have to cancel everything. They're working on a way to separate that right now. They don't have that ready yet. This app was launched too soon. It was launched before it was ready. Other things people have been concerned about, the privacy. Literally, if you look at what privacy features the app requests from your device, like all the data, it literally is everything. Like, people have taken screenshots and just put OMG underneath it. Like, why do you need to know, like, everything about my phone and my device? And why do you need my biometric health data? Like, if you use a health app on your phone, Yeah, Threads wants to know how fat you are or how thin you are, what your body mass index is. I mean, why does Threads need to know that? Well, it's because it's an advertising platform. That's how they're going to make money. And they're aggregating that data from your phone and then pulling it into all the other platforms. So then if you use Facebook or Instagram, they all know these things too. So whenever you're giving, we talked a lot the last couple of weeks about leaving little breadcrumbs behind. If you choose to use the Threads app, you aren't leaving breadcrumbs behind. You're dropping entire loaves of bread behind you while you're walking. And it's serious. So I would suggest, if you are dissatisfied with Twitter, if you don't like the direction that Twitter is going, wait a few more weeks before jumping on the Threads bandwagon. Let them get the kinks worked out before you tie your Instagram account forever to a Threads account. Now, the other thing is within the first day, like what is Threads going to do different? I'm all for competition. Competition is good. If somebody has a better product or something that does something different, that's great. Let's see it. What does Threads do different than Twitter? What does it do better than Twitter? Well, right now, the entire difference, the entire differentiation between Threads and Twitter is that Threads is a place where people are nice. And why are they nice? Because if you say or do anything controversial, confrontational, you're banned. You're insta-banned. In fact, some people who opened their Threads account were banned before they opened their account. They actually they have a Facebook account and they have an Instagram account. They just, when they pulled all the data from Facebook and Instagram over to Threads, again, it wasn't quite ready for prime time. So when you tried to follow one of these people on Threads, it would put up a warning and said, "Warning, this person has been known to post misinformation frequently." Well, those black marks are sitting in that's your shadow ban in Facebook, showing up, the quiet part out loud on Threads. Oops. Yeah, so some people were banned before they started. Other people, like one guy posted a post that said, media is reporting that a bag of cocaine was found in the White House. No word on whose it is yet. And underneath that was a picture of Hunter Biden. Well, that was immediately censored because it did not meet the standards of the Meta community. So literally censorship Meta style on day one. They're still doing the pandemic censorship stuff, the same level anyway. If that's what you miss about Twitter, then Threads is the right place for you. And you will probably enjoy it. If, on the other hand, that doesn't sound super appealing, maybe you go back to Twitter. Or maybe, like a lot of people, you're just like, I don't need any social media in my life. If you are on Twitter, I'm at Thor Schrock. You can follow me there as well. 402-558-1110. Going to take a quick break here. When we come back, Marilyn and Jeff, your calls coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the Data Recovery Lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back in. Thanks for sticking with us through the break there. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and West Des Moines, Iowa. 402-558-1110 or 888-250-2091. Those are the numbers to join us on the program today. And as we do every week, we'll be giving away a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate to a lucky caller. Let's see if maybe Marilyn can get lucky this week. Marilyn, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Hi, Schrock. I was wondering, how and where on your computer do you find your Google passwords that have been saved to it? And is it a wise idea to let Google save your passwords?
All right. So I don't like to use Google Chrome because literally, just like I was talking about breadcrumbs, Google Chrome watches everything every keystroke you type is recorded, even if you don't hit enter. Mm-hmm. So if you give them your passwords, you give them your passwords, but it sure is convenient because, man, if you have an Android phone, the passwords carry over to your phone. I mean, it's so nice. So if I don't have a problem with you saving your passwords in a browser, if you're going to use Chrome, and Chrome is a fine browser. There are times that I use Chrome as well, and using Chrome to stream the radio show right now because some things just work better with Chrome because they were designed to work with Chrome. So you get a pretty decent user experience when you use Chrome for sure. And we're going to talk in a few minutes here about a new browser called the Duck browser. That's a privacy-focused browser that's coming to Windows that might be an alternative that you can use when you're just surfing the internet, not accessing accounts you're logging into. But to answer your question about passwords, in the top right corner of your Google Chrome browser, there's the little picture of your face up there. And then to the right of that, there's 3 vertical dots. And that is like a hamburger menu is what they call it because it looks like a hamburger. There's a bun and there's meat and then there's a bun on the bottom, 3 dots. So if you click on the hamburger menu, it will drop down a thing that you can go to get into all the different settings and options and things like that. And you'll want to go down to settings.
Okay.
And this is going to open up a new tab in your browser called settings. And right at the top in the middle, there's a search settings box. You can just type password in there.
Okay.
And it pops up everything related to passwords. The sync, Google account, customize, and then the Google Password Manager is what you're looking for. It's about midway down the page.
Okay.
And if you click on that, it will show you every single password that Google has ever saved on your computer for everything.
Oh, wonderful.
Happy day. All right. Thank you for the call, Marilyn. I appreciate you joining us on the program today.
Thank you so much, too.
No
Bye-bye.
sweat. Have a great afternoon. 402-558-1110. Jeff, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Hey, good morning. I was wondering if you have a recommendation for an app that screens or gets rid of spam or spoof calls.
Oh, great question. If it existed, I'd be running it. That's for sure. The carriers are starting to get better about this. I know with T-Mobile, for example, I'm starting to get things that pop up on my screen that says, probable spam caller and stuff like that. The challenge that comes in when it comes into screening calls is that if you get too aggressive about screening robocalls, you're not going to get the pharmacy calls when your prescriptions are ready. You're not going to get the Sophos calls. When we call you to say, hey, your computer, it's your Sophos is expired, you won't even get that. We can't even call you if you go on the National Do Not Call Registry, for example. So to answer your question, there isn't really an app that's going to successfully screen out just the problem robot callers and keep the ones you want. But what you can do is you can go to the National Do Not Call Registry and add yourself to the registry. A lot of people don't realize you have to do this every 2 years. If you lapse, you'll fall off the registry. So you have to go back every couple of years. You can add yourself to that registry, and then legit people that are calling. We like Schrock, for example. We won't robocall you if you're on the do not call list, even if it's for your security software. We just can't robocall you. So, after the end of the month when we're like, oh, you haven't called back, we actually have a human pick up the phone and call you and be like, are you sure you want us to cancel this? And everyone's surprised. Like, what do you mean? I didn't know I was up for renewal. Like, well, you're probably on the do not call registry. And so that's one of the reasons why we're working on putting an app together that you can put on your phone so that you can manage your subscriptions and get some push notifications for just the important stuff, not ad stuff, but just important stuff like that. So Jeff, I would suggest that, that's what I would do.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, no sweat. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for the call, Jeff. Appreciate it. Keith, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This?
Yeah. Anyway, you know that. Love your show.
Thank you.
I've got a problem and a couple questions. Problem is, I've got the cheapest gateway computer laptop I can get from Walmart.
Okay.
And the keyboard goes to sleep. I've gone through and I've removed the keyboard from Device Manager and rebooted. And it comes back and it works for about 5 minutes and then goes to sleep. And I did a restore, and none of that seems to have worked. I've got an external keyboard plugged into it right now, but it's just not working.
Does the external keyboard ever go to sleep?
No.
Okay, and then when you say the keyboard goes to sleep, is it like after the computer goes to sleep and you wake it up? Or is it just randomly, like you'll be in the middle of typing something, it'll just stop working?
It's just in the random. It just won't. So it just stopped working.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like the drive. I'm just wondering if the driver's at a wrong version, or if there's a problem with the driver version.
Gotcha.
But it says it's up to date on drivers.
Okay, so here's the big thing I do not want you to do. Don't go out and get one of those driver updater programs and try to have it fix the driver for you. That can cause all kinds of problems. So don't mess with that. But more likely what's going on, that sounds like a firmware issue. That sounds like it's not a driver, but it's the BIOS for the gateway computer that might have an issue. And they may have put out a correction for that. Now, sometimes with like HPs and Dells, for example, they have a deal with Microsoft and Asus. Well, they'll push out these updates through Windows Update. That doesn't always happen for every brand every time, especially if they're outside of service and support. So given the fact that you purchased a high quality precision machine, we might have to do the updates manually. So if you go to the Gateway website and you put in the model number of the computer you have, what you're looking for is a BIOS update, BIOS.
Right.
Take a look and see if there's any BIOS updates that are recent, like since you bought the computer. Grab the most recent one and install that on the computer. See if that resolves the keyboard issue, because a lot of times when there's a hardware issue like that, that's how manufacturers will fix it.
And the BIOS version should come up in the first splash screen, shouldn't it?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes you have to hit like the either like the delete key or the F2 key to get into the BIOS screen, and then you'll see the version there. But it doesn't hurt to reinstall the same BIOS over itself. So just grab the most recent one from the download site and install it. And if
that is a good idea.
Yeah, if it's not needed, it won't install. And if it is needed, it'll go through and install, and then it'll fix that problem and potentially other issues you might not even know you have.
Okay. My first question is, I've been told I've got a face made for radio, and I'm thinking about getting into voiceover type things. And I'm wondering if you guys make a silent computer that I could use in a recording booth.
Well, we can silence the sound card on a computer just by disabling it.
No, but I mean the noise from like the drives.
Oh, yeah, the dings and the dongs and things. I had that happen to me actually, because I had my computer set up for studio recording, and I recorded some training videos, and I was getting emails during the training videos. So randomly it was like bagong in the middle of the training video. Basically what we can do is we can turn off the computer loop back in the sound settings, so it doesn't loop those sounds to the speakers. The internal sounds won't go to the microphone, the internal microphone, basically.
Do you have like an entirely solid state computer with no fan, nothing?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's lots of computers that are like that. I mean, everything from a Raspberry Pi runs Linux all the way up to the NUC, the NUC computers that are like, basically 3 inches by 3 inches, the tiny little things. They're not super powerful computers, but you don't need anything super powerful to record audio.
Okay. And my last question is, I'm going to be retiring soon, and I'm actually moving to Kenya.
Oh, wow.
And I'm wondering if there are any restrictions on bringing computers overseas.
No, there's no like taking your precision piece of machinery with you to Kenya is not going to be a problem.
Well, I was hoping to have a better one by then.
Even if you have a better one, it won't be a problem. It's not like you're not exporting them, for example. If you were selling them to people in Kenya, maybe that'd be a different thing. I don't know. But it's for your own use. You'll be fine. Make sure you get the right power converters for it, and make sure you have an internet solution that's going to work there, because the internet's not super reliable.
Okay. Well, they're going to have Starlink.
I was going to say, take a look at Starlink.
Yep. Okay, thank you very much, Thor.
All right. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. And then good news is you'll still be able to listen to Compute This all the way from Kenya. You might be the furthest, an entire continent away. Keith, if you go to Kenya, you have to call into the program. Tell us you're listening from Kenya. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. I reminded you about Drive Advisor earlier, so I'd be remiss if I didn't say something about Secure Updater. For those of you who may not be aware, Secure Updater is a program that runs on your computer that updates your third-party software. So this is not, I mentioned there's some things that Windows Update doesn't do. Third-party software is one of them. Things like OBS Studio or the VLC Media Player. Your browsers, your Firefox browser, your Chrome browser, those update themselves, but they don't always update themselves immediately. And when there's an update, the manufacturers release the update because there's an issue that they're fixing. It's not because they were bored on a Tuesday night. It was because there's a problem and they're fixing it. Well, you want those patches. They help keep you safe. They close off vectors that bad guys use to attack you, making whatever antivirus you're using even more powerful. So Secure Updater is critical to the security picture of your overall computer. Every month I get a list of all the Schrock customers who have not renewed their Secure Updater for the previous month. Most of the time it's because of expired payment methods, things like that. They've given us a new payment method. We have to switch it up and we get them renewed. I want you to take a moment, if you're a Secure Updater subscriber, to make sure Secure Updater is running on your computer. Go down in the lower right-hand corner and take a look there at that Secure Updater icon. It's a little shield with the letter U in the middle. It could be 3 different colors down there by the clock. If it's green, everything's good to go. If it's red, that means you need an update. If it's black, that means there's a problem with your subscription or you're not logged in. Need to get you logged in. So make sure you double check that if you're running Secure Updater. If you're not running Secure Updater, you can try it free at secureupdater.com for 2 weeks. We don't ask for a credit card or anything. You try it. And if you like it, you keep it. And if you don't, well, then no hard feelings, but it'll help keep you safe. Now, speaking of safe, a new browser is hitting the market called the Duck browser. If you may have this on your phone already. It's been on mobile devices forever, but the Duck browser is coming to Windows now. And this is a big deal because of some of the stuff it's going to do for your computer. For example, if you're on Windows and you're using the Duck browser, it's going to automatically block just about all third-party trackers and cookies. This includes Google. This includes DoubleClick Network, Facebook, everybody. In this scenario, DuckDuckGo identifies requests from third-party URLs that attempt to load in the background. Comparing its findings to its own list of trackers, the browser automatically blocks the ones that attempt to profile you. So it can help protect your identity, help protect your anonymity on the internet. There's another tool. If you've ever been to a website and it pops up, do you want to receive notifications from 123news.com or something like that? And if you accidentally click yes, then you have this deluge of pop-ups in the lower right-hand corner of your screen all the time. Well, a new tool in the Duck browser called the Cookie Pop-Up Management will prevent those requests from happening. Instead, DuckDuckGo responds to each one, choosing no, I'd like to remain private, being privacy being the goal of the browser, minimizing the interruptions to you, and also preventing you from clicking yes once in a while. There's also a smart encryption feature. So sometimes when you go to websites, everything now should be HTTPS. If it's not, that's a problem. Well, some people don't want to pay for the certificate. So they go with the regular HTTP thinking, it's nothing important. Well, if you go to an HTTP website, the Duck browser will automatically redirect that through a secure socket for you. At no cost to the website owner, at no cost to you. It just keeps you safe. It makes sure that the stuff that you're putting into that website can't be intercepted by a man in the middle somewhere. Also, if you get to a point where you want to clean up all traces of your browsing history, there's a little flame button. You click it, and then a little flame washes up the screen, and it's like everything that was done in the browser never happened. Limitations. Duck browser does not save passwords. Duck browser, does bookmarks. That's about it. That's the only thing that doesn't get burned when you burn. But so it's got some limitations. But if you're looking for a privacy-focused browser, the DuckDuckGo browser might be the way to go, and you can check that out at duck.com. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. You're going to take our final break of the program. When we come back, holiday special testers are wanted. What is a holiday special tester? Why are we talking about the holidays in July anyway? We got the lowdown for you coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut Musket Factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation, the modular computer from Schrock Innovations. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, final segment of the program. Thanks for sticking with us today. We're going to do an aftershock after the show is done here at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where we're currently broadcasting live, by the way. If you prefer to watch your radio, it's much more interesting there than just staring at it on the table. But I have no idea what we're going to talk about during the aftershock today. Literally, I have no idea. We'll maybe talk about threads a little bit. I don't know. So literally, this is going to be like an Ask Me Anything you directed aftershock. And if you guys don't have anything to ask, then we'll just end it early. So not a whole lot going on in the tech world right now. It's the summertime. Things kind of slow down a little bit on a holiday week, no less. So, things get a little slow. But what's not slow is the behind-the-scenes things that happen during slow season. When we get slow at Schrock, we take that opportunity to maintenance our own internal systems, for example. We take that opportunity to plan. We take that opportunity to figure out what we're going to do with things like the upcoming 25th anniversary holiday special. It's kind of a big deal. 25 years. And I remember when we started, customers are like, how do I know you're going to be here in a year if I buy this warranty? And you're like, well, I live in the community, so I'll be here. That was the answer. That was the only answer you really had. What's the answer to that question, right? Now we can say, well, we've been answering that for 25 years, ma'am, and we'll be here in the future. One of the things that we do every year, for those of you who might be new to the program, is we have a holiday special computer. There's a laptop and a desktop. There's two different models, so you can pick whichever one is best suited for your needs. The holiday special is the biggest, baddest, highest tech, most amazing computer that you can literally purchase anywhere. You can't buy this computer at Dell.com. I checked right now to get the closest comp to it. I have to buy an i9. I mean, it's crazy. You can't buy this computer anywhere else with the specs that it has in it because you could, but it'd be $3,000-$4,000. But it's only $1,599. Why is it so cheap? That seems too good to be true. It's so cheap because we bulk order the parts at one time. Back in the day, 20 years ago, we had to take all your money up front and then we ordered the parts. That was back when supply chains worked. Now, because everything is so scary, we have to buy all the parts first, build everything first, and then sell it to you. So it puts a little risk on us, but the nice thing about doing it that way is that during slow season, there's not a lot of demand for components, and people are willing to make deals because they want the money. So we can make some pretty sweet deals if we buy parts in July, for example. Let me give you an example. Microsoft, a few days ago, just raised the price of Windows 11 by 8%. 8% increase, went up $7. Well, we bought 1,000 Windows licenses. Yeah, saved ourselves $7,000. Pretty sweet, right? And then that's how we get the holiday special price lower. We do that on every single part, from the case to the motherboard, to the processor, to the memory, all the way through. But to know which parts we need testers. Now, typically, the holiday special is a whole lot of tech, but it's not new tech. I mean, when I say not new, it sounds weird to say it that way. It's not like technology that we haven't sold before, right? It's the same tech we sell before, but just really goosed up. This year, there is brand new technology available. I'm talking about AM5 motherboards. I'm talking about Ryzen 7700 processors. There's a lot of brand new DDR5 memory. Lots of stuff that we don't put in our current computers that it's going to be the benchmark for the holiday special that sets us up for 2024 and beyond. We want to have some testers this time around, a few months ahead. That way, if there's an issue, number one, we can find it before we buy, 150 of the parts. And number two, we can fix it for you, obviously, if you find the issue for us. So how does being a tester work? The advantage to being a tester is you get a Christmas computer in July. Okay, you get it early. You still pay $1,599 for it. It's a complete system. I'm not going to give you all the specs here on the radio because it's not an ad for the computer. We'll give you the specs if you're interested. If you call in, we'll tell you what's in it. But what I can tell you is that it is the fastest memory we've ever put in a computer. It is the fastest processor we have ever put in a computer, including mine at home. I bought a $900 processor during the pandemic, guys. This thing runs circles around my computer at home. I'm a little upset about that. I have a Threadripper at home. They call it the Threadripper. If you have something called the Threadripper, it better rip some thread. I'm just saying, and not the meta threads either. I mean, it better, wow. Well, it doesn't. Not compared to this chip. The hard drive is the largest hard drive we've ever put into a computer, ever. It's the fastest hard drive we've ever put into a computer, ever. It just goes on and on and on. And you should see us trying to find a case for this thing, guys. We had one that I'll save that for the aftershock. That'll be a good one. I'll tell you about the case stuff that we did during the aftershock. So if you're interested in being a holiday special tester, give us a call in the service centers. Let us know you're interested, and then we will get you set up as a tester. We'll build you either a laptop or a desktop computer of your choice, and then you use it and you give us feedback. We may ask you to come on the radio if that's something you're comfortable doing, just to give us your feedback so that other people can hear what a real person sounds like who's actually used the holiday special, not just for a few weeks, but for 3 or 4 months up until that point. All the good things, all the bad things, anything, modifications, changes, it's all open source and we're all going to share it. But that's what being a tester is all about. Jeff, congratulations. You've got yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Amy will get that out to you here on Monday. Stay tuned for the Aftershock at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. And we'll see you all again next week for another exciting edition of Compute This.
From the